Welcome, dear literature enthusiasts and fellow seekers of cinematic depth, to a space where stories unfold not just as entertainment, but as living, breathing conversations. If you find yourself drawn to films that beckon us beneath their surface, inviting thoughtful reflection and intellectual curiosity, then you're in the right place. Before we begin our exploration, I'd warmly invite you to like this video and subscribe to Screen Studies, not merely as a gesture, but as a shared commitment to diving deep into the art and meaning of film, embracing both its spectacle and its subtlety. Now, let me be clear from the outset, this is not your typical movie review. What we're embarking on is a deeply intellectual, theoretical, and critical analysis aimed at those who appreciate narrative complexity and thematic richness, particularly from a literature background. Here, we don't just recount the plot, we unravel it, dissect its textures, and contemplate its place within broader cultural and philosophical dialogues. Think of this as a conversation among friends who love to linger over the quiet echoes beneath a film's roar. The film we're examining today opens the door to a world where technology and humanity collide in dazzling, sometimes turbulent ways. It picks up the story of a man whose very essence is intertwined with both machine and heart, a figure who embodies the paradox of power and vulnerability. Watching this film, I was struck not just by its visual spectacle, but by how it grapples with themes that feel deeply personal: identity, legacy, and the cost of living under a spotlight that is both illuminating and scorching. There is a pulse here that resonates beyond the suit's gleaming armor, a pulse that speaks to the human struggle to reconcile public expectation with private truth. At its core, the narrative weaves together the personal and the political, the intimate and the epic. We find ourselves alongside a protagonist wrestling with the legacy of his own invention, grappling with mortality, relevance, and the shadows cast by those who seek to challenge or control his power. The plot unfolds with a kinetic energy, marked by thrilling confrontations, shifting alliances, and the relentless march of consequences that propels us through a landscape where technology, ambition, and human frailty intersect. It's a story that unfolds like a complex novel, rich with motifs of duality and transformation. The film introduces a compelling array of characters who serve not only as players in the unfolding drama, but as symbolic mirrors reflecting facets of the central figure's psyche and the society around him. From trusted allies to formidable adversaries, each presence shapes the narrative's contours, adding layers of tension and thematic resonance. The dynamic interplay between these figures invites us to consider questions of trust, power, and the blurred lines between heroism and hubris. As I revisited these interactions, I found echoes of classical literary conflicts: man versus self, man versus society, recast in the chrome and circuitry of a modern myth. Key moments punctuate the film with surprises and shifts that keep the narrative vibrant and unpredictable. Early glimpses of internal conflict give way to explosive confrontations that challenge our notions of control and consequence. Technological marvels clash with human emotion, setting the stage for revelations that complicate alliances and reshape motivations. These twists do more than thrill. They invite us to ponder the ethical and existential questions lurking beneath the high-octane surface. The tension between innovation and responsibility, between public spectacle and private struggle, unfolds in ways that demand both intellectual engagement and emotional investment. What makes this film especially compelling to me is how it captures the zeitgeist of its moment, the anxieties and aspirations of a world increasingly defined by technological marvels and their consequences. It resonates as a meditation on the promises and perils of progress, and on the complex identities forged in the crucible of fame and expectation. For someone who has long been fascinated by stories of transformation, legacy, and the masks we wear, this film offers a rich terrain for exploration. So as we prepare to delve deeper into its plot, characters, themes, and cinematic craft, I invite you to join me not just as viewers but as fellow explorers. Let's navigate the luminous and shadowed realms of this story together, uncovering the textures and tensions that make it a compelling chapter in the ongoing dialogue between cinema and society. This is more than a film, it is a conversation, and your insights are an essential part of it. The story opens with a world buzzing with anticipation, a landscape where innovation collides with expectation, and the glare of public scrutiny presses relentlessly down on a man whose very identity is entwined with the technology he forged. The film wastes no time immersing us into this complex dynamic, drawing us into the private and public struggles of its protagonist, a man celebrated yet burdened by his ironclad persona. Early scenes reveal the fissures beneath the gleaming surface, moments where the suit's invincibility contrasts starkly with the vulnerability of the man within. we first meet him grappling with the consequences of his past choices. The narrative paints a vivid portrait of a figure wrestling with both his mortality and his legacy, haunted by the knowledge that the technology sustaining him may also be his undoing. This tension permeates the film's early scenes, where frantic hospital visits and private moments of introspection unfold in contrast to the flashy public appearances and media scrutiny that define his public life. The dichotomy between flesh and machine becomes a central theme, threading through every interaction and decision. Concurrently, new threats emerge from the shadows, figures whose motivations challenge the protagonist on both ideological and physical fronts. The film introduces a formidable antagonist, a brilliant mind driven by vengeance and obsession, whose own relationship with technology mirrors and distorts that of our hero. Their parallel journeys, one toward redemption, the other toward destruction, set up a compelling narrative counterpoint. As the antagonist's machinations unfold, the stakes escalate beyond personal survival, touching on issues of national security, technological ethics, and the limits of control. Amid this, the protagonist's relationships become focal points for exploring themes of trust, loyalty, and isolation. His closest allies, whose support offers both strength and challenge, navigate their own conflicts and agendas. The interplay between these characters is marked by moments of tension and tenderness, revealing the human complexities behind the superhero mythos. In particular, the strained rapport with a government official underscores the political pressures and moral ambiguities that frame the protagonist's choices. Their exchanges crackle with subtext, hinting at deeper questions about power, autonomy, and sacrifice. Parallel to these external pressures is the internal battle waging within the protagonist. The film delves into his struggle with identity, how to reconcile the man he once was with the symbol he has become. Scenes depicting physical deterioration and emotional turmoil contrast with the confident, sometimes arrogant public persona, creating a layered portrayal of a hero in crisis. Moments of vulnerability, whether in quiet solitude or in confrontation, humanize him, inviting empathy and understanding. This nuanced characterization elevates the film beyond spectacle, grounding it in the universal quest for meaning and self-acceptance. The narrative also explores the emergence of new allies, characters whose skills and motivations add complexity and dynamism to the unfolding drama. Their introductions bring fresh perspectives and unexpected alliances, broadening the story's scope while reinforcing its central themes. The camaraderie and conflict within this evolving group reflect the challenges of trust and collaboration in a high-stakes environment. The film deftly balances these interpersonal dynamics with the demands of action and intrigue, weaving them into a cohesive and compelling fabric. Technological innovation features prominently throughout the story, depicted both as a tool of empowerment and a source of peril. The film's detailed portrayal of advanced weaponry, cutting-edge suits, and experimental science grounds the narrative in a believable near future, while also inviting reflection on the ethical dimensions of such progress. Scenes of invention and experimentation are interspersed with moments of consequence, illustrating the double-edged nature of human ingenuity. The protagonist's ongoing modifications to his suit symbolize his evolving understanding of power and responsibility. Key action sequences punctuate the film's early progression, combining high-octane thrills with narrative significance. The choreography of these scenes, marked by rapid cuts, dynamic camera angles, and innovative visual effects, immerses the audience in the visceral reality of conflict. Each confrontation serves not merely as spectacle, but as a catalyst for character development and thematic exploration. The film's ability to balance these elements demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of pacing and emotional resonance. One particularly striking sequence involves a high-stakes showdown at a public event, where the protagonist must navigate both physical danger and the scrutinizing gaze of the media. The tension is heightened by the interplay of spectacle and vulnerability, as the hero's armor conceals as much as it reveals. The sequence underscores the film's meditation on identity and performance, the ways in which public figures must constantly negotiate authenticity and image. This scene also introduces pivotal narrative turns, setting the stage for escalating conflict. Amid these external battles, the protagonist's personal life unfolds with moments of warmth and strain. His relationship with a trusted friend offers respite and reflection, a counterbalance to the isolating pressures of his double life. Their interactions, imbued with humor and honesty, provide some of the film's most grounded moments. At the same time, the strain of secrecy and danger tests these bonds, illustrating the sacrifices demanded by heroism. These scenes humanize the protagonist, inviting viewers to connect with the man behind the mask. The film also introduces elements of legacy and mentorship, hinting at future trajectories for the story's universe. Characters grapple with questions of succession, responsibility, and the burdens of power. The narrative seeds possibilities for growth and change, enriching the story's thematic depth. These undercurrents add a sense of continuity and purpose, linking the immediate conflict to broader questions of identity and evolution. Throughout this unfolding story, the film's visual style amplifies its thematic concerns. The sleek, metallic aesthetic of the suits contrasts with gritty urban landscapes and intimate interiors, visually articulating the tension between technology and humanity. Lighting and color palettes shift to reflect mood and tone, from cold blues and steel grays in moments of crisis to warm ambers and reds in scenes of connection and revelation. The cinematography employs a mix of dynamic tracking shots and intimate close-ups, drawing viewers into both the epic and the personal dimensions of the story. Sound design complements this visual language, layering the mechanical whirs of technology with the nuances of human breath and heartbeat. The score underscores emotional beats, rising to triumphant crescendos during action and receding into quiet motifs during introspection. These sonic elements create an immersive atmosphere, enhancing the narrative's emotional texture and heightening tension. As the plot unfolds, the film deftly balances its multiple threads: action, character, theme, building toward moments of revelation and transformation. Early conflicts set the stage for deeper exploration of power, identity, and consequence, promising a narrative rich with complexity and nuance. The tension between public spectacle and private struggle remains at the forefront, inviting viewers to consider the costs of heroism in a world hungry for both saviors and spectacles. This carefully woven tapestry of events, relationships, and ideas creates a rich narrative landscape, one that engages intellectually and emotionally. It invites viewers not merely to witness, but to inhabit the story, to feel its stakes and reflect on its questions. The film's first half closes with a sense of anticipation and unresolved tension, a compelling invitation to journey further into the heart of its unfolding myth. Through this immersive storytelling, the film challenges us to reconsider notions of power and vulnerability, legacy and innovation. It speaks to the universal human experience of grappling with identity amidst expectation, and the enduring quest for meaning in a rapidly changing world. This narrative, with its intricate layering and vivid characterizations, sets the stage for a cinematic experience that is as thrilling as it is thought-provoking. The tension that has been simmering beneath the surface finally ignites as the narrative plunges into its most intense and transformative phase. The protagonist's journey, once marked by personal struggle and tentative alliances, now accelerates toward a convergence of fate and choice, where every decision carries weighty consequences. The film's pace quickens, mirroring the mounting stakes that envelop our hero, drawing viewers into a maelstrom of action, revelation, and emotional reckoning. The opening sequences of this phase thrust us directly into the fallout of prior conflicts. Our protagonist, grappling with physical deterioration and the escalating demands of his dual identity, faces pressures from all sides: governmental scrutiny, public expectation, and a relentless adversary whose machinations grow ever more dangerous. The film deftly balances these external forces with the internal turmoil that defines the character's arc, crafting a portrait of a hero besieged not only by enemies, but by his own doubts and vulnerabilities. The pivotal moment unfolds in a high-tech laboratory, where the antagonist's true plan is revealed. This revelation dramatically recontextualizes earlier events, casting shadows of betrayal and ethical ambiguity over previous alliances. The antagonist's motivations are laid bare, not merely as a quest for vengeance, but as a radical vision to reshape the world through unchecked technological power. This ideological clash crystallizes the film's central thematic conflict: the tension between control and chaos, innovation and responsibility. Amid escalating external threats, the protagonist's relationships come under strain, intensifying the emotional stakes. His trusted allies grapple with conflicting loyalties and fears for their own safety, leading to moments of confrontation and reconciliation. The film excels in portraying these interpersonal dynamics with subtlety, revealing how crises test the bonds that hold individuals and communities together. Scenes of vulnerability, forgiveness, and solidarity punctuate the relentless action, grounding the spectacle in human truth. Technological innovation takes center stage as the protagonist seeks to upgrade his suit and abilities to meet the growing challenges. These sequences, rich with visual effects and kinetic energy, symbolize not only physical enhancement, but also the character's evolving understanding of power and identity. The integration of new technology reflects his ongoing struggle to balance the machine with the human he strives to protect. This motif echoes throughout the film, inviting reflection on the promises and perils of technological progress. One of the most striking sequences unfolds during a dramatic confrontation in a sprawling urban landscape, where the protagonist and antagonist clash in a battle that is as much ideological as physical. The choreography of this showdown is meticulously crafted, blending hand-to-hand combat with high-tech weaponry and strategic maneuvering. The cinematography employs sweeping aerial shots and intimate close-ups, capturing both the spectacle and the personal stakes. This battle serves as a crucible, revealing character strengths and flaws and shifting the narrative's power dynamics. As the fight reaches its climax, the protagonist faces a critical choice that encapsulates the film's thematic core. This moment of decision, fraught with moral complexity and personal sacrifice, challenges traditional notions of heroism. Rather than a clear-cut victory, the resolution embraces ambiguity and nuance, underscoring the costs of power and the weight of responsibility. The protagonist's choice reverberates beyond the immediate conflict, signaling a transformation in both self and story. Parallel to this, the narrative explores themes of legacy and mentorship, as emerging characters step into roles shaped by the protagonist's example and influence. These developments hint at future trajectories, expanding the story's scope while honoring its roots. The passing of the torch is portrayed with poignancy, reflecting the enduring human desire to find meaning and continuity amid change. The film's resolution weaves together threads of redemption, reconciliation, and hope. Characters reconcile fractured relationships, and the protagonist finds moments of peace amid the chaos. The closing scenes balance spectacle with intimacy, offering a nuanced reflection on the journey's costs and rewards. The narrative does not promise easy answers, but embraces complexity, inviting viewers to ponder the ongoing challenges of power, identity, and connection. Visually and orally, the film's concluding moments are marked by a shift in tone and texture. Lighting softens, colors warm, and the score moves from driving intensity to reflective melodies. These elements create a sense of closure and renewal, framing the story's end as a beginning. The cinematography lingers on faces and landscapes, allowing the emotional resonance to settle and echo. Critically, the second half's unfolding twists and climaxes have been noted for their thematic depth and narrative sophistication. The film's willingness to engage with moral ambiguity and the complexities of heroism distinguishes it from more conventional action fare. Audience responses often highlight the emotional payoff and intellectual stimulation offered by the resolution, underscoring the film's success in marrying entertainment with insight. Ultimately, the film's second phase transforms a tale of conflict into a meditation on choice, consequence, and transformation. It challenges viewers to reconsider what it means to be a hero in a world where power is both a gift and a burden. Through its intricate plotting, rich character development, and masterful use of cinematic techniques, the narrative delivers a compelling and thought-provoking conclusion that resonates long after the screen fades to black. The characters in this story breathe life into its metallic heart and fuel its narrative engine, embodying complexities that transcend the traditional superhero mold. At the center is a figure of paradox, a man who is both the pinnacle of human innovation and a fragile, deeply flawed human being. His journey is as much about mastering the external world of power and spectacle as it is about confronting the internal wilderness of identity and vulnerability. His character is a mosaic of charisma, genius, arrogance, and poignant insecurity, inviting us to explore the nuanced interplay between mask and self. This protagonist, forged in fire and steel, is not merely a figure of invincibility, but a man grappling with the costs of his own creation. His wit and charm mask a persistent undercurrent of anxiety, a fear that the armor he wears may ultimately imprison rather than protect him. Moments of self-doubt and exhaustion punctuate his bravado, revealing a deeply human struggle beneath the glowing visor. His relationship with technology is both symbiotic and fraught, a dance of dependency and mastery that mirrors broader questions about the integration of humanity with machines in an age of rapid advancement. This duality enriches his portrayal, making him relatable even as he soars above the ordinary. His closest confidant, a brilliant and fiercely loyal scientist, serves as both guide and moral compass. Her character grounds the narrative's high-tech spectacle in scientific inquiry and ethical reflection. Through her eyes, we witness the tension between innovation's promise and its potential perils. Her unwavering support is tempered by moments of challenge, as she pushes the protagonist to confront uncomfortable truths and make difficult choices. Their relationship is layered with complexity. Professional respect mingles with personal care, creating a dynamic that is both tender and charged. This interplay adds emotional depth and intellectual rigor to the story, emphasizing collaboration and accountability. The antagonist emerges as a compelling counterpoint, a man driven by obsession and a desire for retribution, whose own mastery of technology threatens to upend the fragile balance. His character is painted with strokes of brilliance and darkness, embodying the shadow side of innovation. Where the protagonist seeks redemption and control, the antagonist embraces chaos and destruction, offering a stark mirror to the hero's journey. His motivations, while rooted in personal loss and betrayal, raise profound ethical questions about the use and misuse of power. This layered portrayal transcends the simplistic villain archetype, inviting viewers to grapple with the ambiguities of justice and revenge. Supporting characters further enrich the narrative's emotional and thematic landscape. A government official, tasked with overseeing the protagonist's activities, embodies the institutional pressures and political machinations that complicate heroism. Her character navigates a maze of duty, skepticism, and pragmatism, challenging the protagonist's autonomy and forcing him to reckon with the broader implications of his actions. Their exchanges are fraught with tension, reflecting the real-world complexities of governance, surveillance, and control. The introduction of a spirited new ally broadens the narrative's scope, representing the next generation of heroes and ideals. This character's youthful energy and idealism contrast with the protagonist's seasoned cynicism, creating a dynamic that explores themes of mentorship, legacy, and transformation. Their evolving relationship offers moments of humor, challenge, and growth, underscoring the film's exploration of succession and change. This interplay highlights the tensions between tradition and innovation, experience and ambition. Interpersonal dynamics throughout the story reveal a rich tapestry of trust, betrayal, and reconciliation. The protagonist's relationships are tested by secrets, conflicting agendas, and the high stakes of their world. Scenes of confrontation and vulnerability peel back layers of armor, both literal and figurative, allowing glimpses into the characters' fears and desires. These emotional beats elevate the narrative beyond action spectacle, anchoring it in human connection and psychological realism. The film's nuanced portrayal of identity is particularly evident in its exploration of the protagonist's dual existence. The suit he dons is both a source of empowerment and alienation, a symbol of his genius and his isolation. This duality is reflected in visual motifs and narrative arcs, emphasizing the tension between public persona and private self. Moments of solitude reveal a man wrestling with questions of purpose and legacy, inviting empathy and introspection. The character's journey resonates with universal themes of self-discovery and the quest for authenticity in a world of masks. Secondary characters, while sometimes occupying supporting roles, contribute significantly to thematic richness. The protagonist's trusted assistant offers a blend of practical support and emotional grounding, serving as a reminder of loyalty and friendship amid chaos. Rivals and skeptics introduce conflict and challenge, their presence sharpening the narrative's moral and philosophical edges. These characters are crafted with enough depth to avoid caricature, providing a realistic reflection of the diverse forces that shape any epic struggle. The interplay of humor and seriousness in character interactions adds texture and relatability. Witty banter and moments of levity provide relief from tension while revealing personality and rapport. These exchanges humanize the characters, balancing their larger-than-life roles with everyday quirks and vulnerabilities. This tonal balance contributes to the film's accessibility, allowing audiences to engage emotionally while pondering its deeper questions. From a psychological perspective, the characters embody archetypal roles that resonate across cultures and storytelling traditions. The hero's journey is marked by trials, mentors, and adversaries, each serving as catalysts for transformation. The film taps into these universal patterns while situating them within a contemporary framework of technology and power. This synthesis enriches the narrative, making it both timeless and timely. In reflecting on these character portraits, it becomes clear that their power lies in complexity. The film refuses simplistic binaries, instead presenting figures who embody contradictions and growth. The protagonist is simultaneously brilliant and fallible, charismatic and isolated. The antagonist is ruthless yet motivated by pain. Allies are supportive yet flawed. This nuanced characterization invites viewers to engage deeply, recognizing facets of themselves and their world within the story. Ultimately, the characters form the emotional and intellectual core of the film. Their journeys illuminate themes of identity, responsibility, trust, and transformation. Through their struggles and triumphs, the narrative explores what it means to wield power, to seek redemption, and to connect authentically in a fractured world. This rich character tapestry invites us not only to watch but to reflect, to question, and to feel. The making of this film is a story almost as compelling as the one playing out on screen, a behind-the-curtain journey filled with surprising twists, unusual moments, and curious details that add layers of texture to the final work. From the earliest days of pre-production through the chaotic whirlwind of filming and into the long nights of post-production, the entire process was marked by a unique blend of creativity, chance, and sometimes downright odd happenings that have since become legendary among cast, crew, and fans alike. One of the first strange facts that emerged during the early days of filming was the remarkable way the lead actor connected with the suit itself. Unlike many productions where costumes are just that, costumes, this suit took on an almost character-like status. The actor reportedly spent hours not just learning to move in it, but listening to it, almost as if it had a voice of its own. On set, there were tales of moments when the actor would slip into the suit and seem to transform completely, adopting mannerisms and a physical presence so distinct that other cast members described it as if the suit was possessing him. This connection between human and armor mirrored the film's core themes so vividly that it became a kind of informal legend, inspiring the crew and deepening the immersion into the character's world. Filming the action sequences brought its own set of unusual challenges. One particularly memorable incident occurred during a high-speed chase scene that involved multiple vehicles, stunt performers, and a complex series of camera moves. The sequence was meticulously planned, yet on the day of shooting, a sudden gust of wind swept through the set, blowing debris into the path of the stunt drivers. Instead of halting production, the director decided to incorporate the unpredictability into the scene, adding a layer of chaos that heightened the tension and realism. The resulting footage became one of the most praised sequences in the film, demonstrating how embracing unexpected events can elevate cinematic storytelling. The technology used to bring the suit's capabilities to life was itself a marvel and a source of behind-the-scenes fascination. The visual effects team pioneered new techniques to simulate the seamless integration of the suit with the actor's movements. One lesser-known detail is that many of the suit's complex transformations and weapon activations were achieved through a combination of practical effects and CGI, blending tactile reality with digital wizardry. For example, the iconic arm cannon was sometimes a physical prop with moving parts, allowing the actor to interact with it realistically, while other times it was enhanced digitally to produce energy blasts and dynamic motion. This hybrid approach required close collaboration between departments, leading to an intense creative synergy that pushed the boundaries of what was technically possible at the time. Behind the camera, the director cultivated a set atmosphere that was both disciplined and playful. Known for his exacting standards, he also encouraged improvisation and experimentation, inviting actors and crew to explore ideas beyond the script. This openness led to spontaneous moments of brilliance, such as unscripted dialogue exchanges that captured genuine chemistry and inventive camera angles discovered in the heat of shooting. One story from the set recounts a late-night brainstorming session where a minor technical glitch inspired a new visual effect approach that was later incorporated into a key scene, illustrating how serendipity can fuel creativity. The casting process had its own share of unusual anecdotes. One of the supporting actors, known primarily for dramatic roles, auditioned by bringing an unexpected comedic twist to the character, which initially surprised the casting team. This fresh take ultimately shaped the character's on-screen presence, adding depth and levity that balanced the film's intense action. Meanwhile, the casting director shared stories of how some roles were filled through chance encounters, actors visiting the set in different capacities, who then impressed the director and earned parts. These stories underscore the unpredictable nature of filmmaking, where opportunity often strikes in unexpected ways. Animal trainers played a critical, yet often overlooked role, particularly during scenes where the suit interacted with live animals or natural elements. Their work involved not only training but anticipating animal behavior in chaotic environments filled with cameras and crew. One intriguing behind-the-scenes fact is that during a forest scene, a trained bird of prey, essential for the shot, unexpectedly refused to cooperate, choosing instead to perch calmly on the director's hat. The incident, while causing a delay, lightened the mood on set and became a fond memory for the team, emblematic of the unpredictable magic that animals bring to film. The film's score also carries a story worth telling. The composer integrated unconventional instruments and found sounds recorded on set into the soundtrack, blending the mechanical with the organic. For instance, the rhythmic clanking of the suit's components, captured during filming, was sampled and woven into the musical themes, creating an auditory link between narrative and score. This innovative approach added texture and authenticity, making the soundscape an extension of the film's world rather than just accompaniment. Another fascinating technical detail involves the use of practical effects for the suit's assembly and disassembly scenes. These required intricate puppetry and animatronics, operated by teams hidden just out of frame. The synchronization needed was so precise that rehearsals sometimes lasted hours, with the actor and technicians developing an almost choreographed dance. Watching these sequences being filmed reveals the painstaking craftsmanship behind moments that appear effortless on screen. Several scenes were shot in iconic locations that added an unspoken weight to the film. For instance, a pivotal confrontation takes place in an industrial complex with a storied history, lending a gritty, authentic backdrop that enhances the narrative's themes of power and decay. Local residents recall the buzz of excitement and occasional disruption during filming, anecdotes that became part of the community's collective memory. The production team's respect for these locales and their histories informed the care taken in filming, adding layers of meaning that attentive viewers might sense beneath the surface. The wardrobe department faced the challenge of creating costumes that were both futuristic and believable within the film's universe. Materials were sourced from unexpected places, some fabric inspired by aerospace technology, others handmade by artisans to achieve unique textures. The lead actor's costume required constant adjustment and maintenance, with a dedicated team on hand to ensure every detail remained pristine despite the rigors of filming. One amusing story recounts how an early test of a new suit component caused a minor electrical mishap, leading to a temporary power outage on set, much to the surprise of the cast and crew. In the realm of visual effects, the team encountered a curious anomaly during rendering. Early drafts of a key sequence revealed a strange shimmer around the suit that was not intended but visually striking. Rather than removing it, the director and effects supervisors decided to enhance this glow, turning it into a signature visual motif symbolizing the suit's evolving power. This choice illustrates the film's willingness to embrace imperfections as opportunities for artistic innovation. Publicity and marketing for the film also involved inventive strategies. The studio created interactive experiences, allowing fans to explore elements of the suit's technology through augmented reality apps, blending digital engagement with the cinematic world. These initiatives generated buzz and fostered a dedicated fan community eager to delve deeper into the film's universe. Post-release, the film inspired a range of fan theories and discussions, some rooted in subtle clues planted during production. Hidden Easter eggs, visual nods to comic lore and hints at future storylines, became the subject of intense online debate, revealing a layer of interactivity that extended the film's life beyond the screen. Looking back, the making of this film emerges as a fascinating mosaic of deliberate craftsmanship and happy accidents. Its behind-the-scenes stories reflect the complex, collaborative nature of filmmaking, where technology, creativity, and human spirit intertwine. These strange and wonderful facts add depth to our appreciation, reminding us that every frame carries the imprint of countless hands, hearts, and moments that defy easy explanation. The legacy of this production lives not only in its final cut, but in the shared memories and tales that continue to captivate those who experienced its creation firsthand. The movie unfolds as a carefully constructed symphony of moments, each event, each interaction, resonating far beyond its immediate context, carrying layers of meaning that invite us to peer beneath the surface. Approaching the film through a critical lens, we begin to see these significant events not merely as plot points, but as intricate threads woven into a larger tapestry of themes, emotions, and cultural dialogues. It is in this interplay between narrative action and thematic depth that the film's true power emerges, compelling both thought and feeling in equal measure. One of the most pivotal events occurs early on, setting the tone for the film's exploration of duality and identity. The protagonist's struggle with the physical deterioration caused by his own technology is not just a personal crisis, but a metaphor for the broader tension between humanity and machine. This event, his urgent medical interventions, and the haunting specter of mortality, invites reflection on the limits of technological advancement and the vulnerabilities that remain irreducible. Critically, this moment challenges the archetype of the invincible hero, replacing it with a more nuanced figure whose strength is shadowed by fragility. This complex portrayal contributed significantly to the film's reception, marking it as a work willing to complicate superhero mythology rather than simply celebrate it. The introduction of the antagonists planned to harness destructive technology functions as a narrative fulcrum that shifts the film's focus from internal struggle to external conflict. This event escalates the stakes dramatically, transforming the protagonist's journey into a confrontation with ideological extremism. From a critical standpoint, the antagonist embodies the dangers of unchecked ambition and the ethical quandaries posed by weaponized innovation. The film uses this event to interrogate contemporary anxieties about power, control, and the militarization of science, situating its narrative within ongoing cultural debates. Audience reception reflected this, with many viewers appreciating the film's willingness to engage with substantive moral questions amidst the spectacle. A turning point in the film's emotional arc arises in a tense confrontation between the protagonist and a government official who embodies institutional skepticism and control. This event crystallizes the film's thematic preoccupation with autonomy and authority, highlighting the conflict between individual agency and systemic oversight. Critically, the scene's sharp dialogue and charged silences reveal the ideological fault lines underpinning the narrative. It foregrounds questions about the price of freedom and the compromises demanded by security, resonating with contemporary political discourse. This nuanced depiction elevated the film's intellectual engagement, inviting audiences to consider the complexities of governance and power in a technologically advanced society. The film's exploration of mentorship and legacy gains momentum with the arrival of a youthful new character, whose idealism contrasts with the protagonist's seasoned pragmatism. Their evolving relationship serves as a microcosm of generational tensions and the transmission of values. This event introduces themes of hope, renewal, and the cyclical nature of heroism. Critically, it adds emotional texture and narrative dynamism, enriching the story's layers. Viewers responded positively to this interplay, finding in it a reflection of real-world challenges around leadership and change. A particularly striking event is the climactic battle set against an urban backdrop, where the film's technical prowess and thematic concerns converge. Cinematically, this sequence showcases innovative choreography, dynamic camera work, and immersive sound design, creating a visceral experience that amplifies the story's emotional stakes. From a critical perspective, the battle transcends mere spectacle to become a stage for ideological contestation, between control and chaos, redemption and destruction. The protagonist's choices during this event crystallize his character arc, embodying the film's meditation on responsibility and sacrifice. Audience and critical acclaim often highlighted this sequence as a narrative and technical high point, underscoring its centrality to the film's impact. The film's resolution, marked by moments of reconciliation and ambiguous victory, challenges conventional closure. This event invites viewers to grapple with uncertainty and complexity rather than tidy resolutions. The protagonist's decision to embrace both his humanity and his technology reflects a synthesis rather than a triumph, echoing contemporary philosophical debates about identity and hybridity. Critically, this ending was lauded for its maturity and emotional resonance, setting the film apart within its genre. Audience discussions reveal appreciation for this thoughtful conclusion, which respects the intelligence and emotional sophistication of its viewers. Throughout the narrative, the film employs symbolic imagery and motifs that enrich its thematic fabric. Recurring visual elements, such as reflections, fragmented mirrors, and the interplay of light and shadow, underscore the protagonist's fractured identity and the dualities that define his world. These artistic choices deepen the emotional resonance of key events, inviting layered interpretations. Critics have praised the film's visual language for complementing and enhancing its narrative complexity, contributing to its reputation as a work of cinematic artistry. The interplay of humor and gravity throughout significant scenes adds tonal richness, reflecting the complexities of real-life heroism. Moments of wit and levity serve to humanize characters and provide relief from tension, while also reinforcing themes of resilience and adaptability. This balance enhances audience engagement, making the characters' journeys relatable and multidimensional. The film's engagement with contemporary cultural anxieties, such as surveillance, the militarization of technology, and the erosion of privacy, imbues its events with topical relevance. By embedding these concerns within its narrative, the film transcends escapism to participate in broader social conversations. This aspect of the film's impact has been noted in critical discourse, highlighting its contribution to genre evolution. Audience reception has further underscored the film's thematic and emotional resonance. Viewer testimonials often cite specific events as transformative, inspiring reflection on personal and societal challenges. The film's ability to provoke dialogue about ethics, identity, and power speaks to its enduring appeal and significance. In sum, the significant events of the film are not isolated incidents, but integral components of a complex, interwoven narrative. Their critical analysis reveals a film that operates on multiple levels, entertaining and thought-provoking, emotional and intellectual. Through its deft handling of plot and theme, it invites viewers to engage deeply, challenging assumptions and inspiring insight. This rich layering of meaning and impact cements the film's place as a landmark within its genre, demonstrating how blockbuster storytelling can achieve profound artistic and cultural expression. The events that unfold on screen become a mirror reflecting the complexities of our own world, offering both spectacle and substance in a compelling cinematic experience. The journey from script to screen for this film is a tale woven with innovation, collaboration, and unexpected moments that enriched every frame with vitality. Behind the sleek armor and high-octane action lies a production process as intricate and compelling as the narrative itself, a dance of creativity and technical mastery, punctuated by stories that reveal the humanity and humor often hidden beneath the Hollywood gloss. From the outset, the filmmakers were faced with the challenge of capturing the dual essence of the protagonist, a man who is at once a genius inventor and a deeply flawed human being. This required a delicate balance in directing and design, aiming to humanize the hero without diminishing his larger-than-life status. Director Andrzej Bartkowiak, known for his background in action cinema, embraced this challenge by blending visceral kinetic energy with moments of quiet introspection, crafting a tone that oscillates between spectacle and soulfulness. The casting process was marked by a search for authenticity and chemistry. Diane Lane, cast as a key supporting character, brought a nuanced understanding of her role that added emotional depth to the story. Her preparation involved extensive research and time spent with real-life figures who inspired her character, grounding her performance in lived experience. On set, Lane's interactions with the lead actor fostered a dynamic partnership that translated into genuine emotional exchanges on screen. The lead actor's preparation was equally intensive. Recognizing that embodying the character meant more than donning a suit, he engaged in rigorous physical training to master the unique movements required by the armor. This included coordination drills, stunt rehearsals, and developing a physical vocabulary that conveyed both power and vulnerability. Behind the scenes, he shared stories of late-night practice sessions and the physical toll of prolonged shoots, underscoring the commitment required to inhabit such a demanding role. Costume design emerged as a cornerstone of the production's visual identity. The suit itself was a marvel of craftsmanship, combining lightweight materials with practical effects to allow fluid movement while maintaining the character's imposing presence. The design team experimented with various materials and technologies, integrating LEDs and mechanical elements to simulate the suit's futuristic capabilities. One fascinating anecdote involves an early prototype that malfunctioned during testing, resulting in an unplanned power surge that caused a minor electrical fire on set. Fortunately, no one was harmed, and the incident became a humorous cautionary tale among the crew. Filming action sequences demanded inventive solutions to logistical challenges. The iconic chase and battle scenes were choreographed with a blend of practical stunts and CGI enhancement, requiring close collaboration between stunt coordinators, visual effects artists, and cinematographers. To capture the dynamic movement of the suit, the team developed specialized rigs and camera mounts, including helmet cams and drone-mounted lenses, pushing technological boundaries to immerse viewers in the protagonist's perspective. These innovations required countless rehearsals and adjustments, reflecting a commitment to seamless integration of effects and storytelling. One particularly memorable behind-the-scenes story recounts a day when unexpected weather conditions threatened to derail an outdoor shoot. A sudden storm swept through the filming location, drenching equipment and soaking cast and crew. Rather than postpone, the director decided to incorporate the storm's dramatic atmosphere into the scene, enhancing its emotional intensity. The result was a visually striking sequence that benefited from the serendipitous turn of events, illustrating how adaptability and creativity can transform obstacles into assets. The film's visual effects department operated at the cutting edge of technology, employing advanced motion capture, digital compositing, and rendering techniques. They faced the complex task of making the suit's digital augmentations appear tangible and weighty, avoiding the pitfalls of artificiality common in CGI-heavy productions. To achieve this, the team studied real-world mechanics and materials, consulting with engineers and physicists to replicate plausible movements and textures. This scientific rigor contributed to the film's visual credibility, earning praise from both critics and audiences. Sound design played a pivotal role in crafting the immersive experience. The team recorded and synthesized a rich palette of mechanical noises, servos, hydraulics, and electronic hums that became synonymous with the suit's presence. These sounds were layered with human elements, such as the actors' breathing and footsteps, creating a soundscape that bridged technology and humanity. Composer Stephen Edwards integrated these motifs into the score, weaving mechanical rhythms into orchestral arrangements to underscore the narrative's thematic tensions. The production also fostered a collaborative and supportive environment among cast and crew. Stories abound of camaraderie, from shared meals on set to impromptu jam sessions, where musicians among the crew entertained their colleagues. These moments of levity provided crucial relief from the intensity of the shoot and strengthened the bonds that made the demanding schedule bearable. Several crew members recount how the production felt like a close-knit family, united by a shared passion for the project. In the realm of marketing, the film's team devised innovative strategies to engage audiences. Interactive digital campaigns allowed fans to explore the technology behind the suit virtually, blending entertainment with education. These initiatives included augmented reality experiences and behind-the-scenes documentaries that deepened viewer connection to the film's world. The success of these campaigns contributed to the film's strong opening and sustained interest. Post-production brought its own challenges and triumphs. The editing process required a careful balance between pacing and narrative clarity, ensuring that complex plot elements remained accessible while maintaining suspense. Editor Steven Merkovich collaborated closely with the director and visual effects supervisors to weave together live-action footage and digital effects into a cohesive whole. This iterative process involved multiple revisions, reflecting a commitment to storytelling excellence. Throughout the film's creation, unexpected inspirations shaped creative decisions. For example, a routine test of the suit's LED lighting inspired a visual motif that recurred throughout the film, symbolizing the protagonist's fluctuating control and emotional state. These serendipitous moments highlight the fluid nature of filmmaking, where chance and intention intertwine. Looking back, the making of this film stands as a testament to the power of collaboration, innovation, and perseverance. It reveals how a complex tapestry of technical expertise, artistic vision, and human dedication coalesce to create a cinematic experience that resonates with audiences. These behind-the-scenes insights and fun facts not only enrich our appreciation of the film, but also remind us of the intricate, often unpredictable journey that lies behind every frame. The world this film invites us into is one of dazzling contrasts, a landscape where the sleek, shining surfaces of cutting-edge technology collide with the gritty, sprawling urban environments that ground the narrative in reality. From the opening frames, the settings are crafted with intention and care, each location chosen not just for its visual appeal, but for its capacity to echo and amplify the story's central themes. These places, some real, some meticulously constructed, become more than mere backdrops. They are active participants in the storytelling, shaping mood, tone, and meaning in profound ways. The film opens in spaces that feel simultaneously familiar and transformed. The protagonist's private world is anchored in a sleek, modern home that blends minimalist design with technological sophistication. This setting is suffused with light, both natural and artificial, reflecting the character's blend of human warmth and mechanical precision. The interplay of glass, steel, and soft textures creates a visual metaphor for the duality at the story's core. The tension between vulnerability and armor, intimacy and spectacle. The cinematography lingers on reflective surfaces, capturing fleeting images that suggest hidden depths and fragmented identities. Contrasting sharply with these domestic interiors are the sprawling urban landscapes where much of the film's action unfolds. The cityscapes are rendered with a blend of realism and stylization, capturing both the vibrancy and the menace of metropolitan life. Towering skyscrapers and neon-lit streets provide a dynamic arena for the narrative's conflicts, their towering facades echoing themes of power and surveillance. The use of wide-angle lenses and sweeping aerial shots showcases the scale and complexity of this world, immersing viewers in its labyrinthine streets and shadowed corners. Industrial settings play a crucial role in the film's visual and thematic vocabulary. Factories, warehouses, and high-tech labs serve as crucibles of innovation and conflict, spaces where creation and destruction intertwine. These locations are often bathed in stark chiaroscuro lighting, with shafts of light cutting through smoke and haze to create a sense of mystery and tension. The textures of rusted metal, concrete, and glass contrast with the polished surfaces of technology, emphasizing the uneasy coexistence of the old and the new. Through these settings, the film explores themes of transformation, decay, and rebirth. The racetrack and public arenas, where the protagonist's heroism is most visible, are portrayed with kinetic energy and spectacle. The cinematography captures the roar of the crowd and the flash of movement with rapid cuts, dynamic camera angles, and vibrant color palettes. Here, lighting is bright and saturated, mirroring the heightened emotions and stakes of public performance. The juxtaposition of these scenes with quieter, more intimate settings underscores the dual nature of the protagonist's existence, public icon and private individual. Natural settings punctuate the narrative, offering moments of respite and reflection amid the urban tumult. Parks, rooftops, and secluded retreats provide spaces where characters confront their inner conflicts and forge connections. These locations are shot with softer focus and warmer tones, creating a visual and emotional contrast that invites contemplation. The cinematographer's use of natural light and ambient sounds enhances the sensory experience, grounding the story in a lived-in reality. Color grading throughout the film is employed as a subtle but powerful tool to shape mood and tone. Cool blues and grays dominate scenes of technological innovation and conflict, evoking feelings of detachment, precision, and danger. Warmer hues, amber, gold, and crimson, emerge in moments of intimacy, vulnerability, and revelation. This palette shift guides the audience's emotional journey, signaling shifts in narrative focus and character development. The film's use of light and shadow is especially noteworthy. Directors of photography harness these elements to craft visual metaphors, characters half-illuminated, silhouettes framed against glowing screens, shadows creeping over faces, conveying themes of duality, secrecy, and internal struggle. The play of illumination not only enhances aesthetic appeal, but also deepens narrative complexity, inviting viewers to look beyond the surface. Camera movement is choreographed to reflect the story's emotional rhythms. Steady, deliberate tracking shots accompany moments of control and contemplation, while handheld, jittery camera work heightens tension during action and uncertainty. The fluidity and variation in cinematographic style mirror the protagonist's oscillation between confidence and doubt, control and chaos. Visual effects integrate seamlessly with practical sets and locations, creating a cohesive world that feels tangible yet expansive. Digital enhancements augment the suit's capabilities and the film's high-tech environments without overwhelming realism. This balance allows for immersive storytelling that respects viewer suspension of disbelief while pushing visual boundaries. The film's production design team deserves special mention for their meticulous attention to detail. Every prop, piece of furniture, and architectural element is chosen to reinforce character and theme. For example, the protagonist's workshop is cluttered with blueprints and prototype models, reflecting a mind ceaselessly engaged in invention. Contrastingly, the antagonist's lair is stark and clinical, emphasizing a cold, calculated worldview. These design choices subtly communicate narrative subtext, enriching the visual storytelling. Soundscapes complement the visual elements, weaving ambient noises, mechanical hums, and musical cues into a layered auditory experience. The integration of diegetic sounds, clanking metal, electronic beeps, city bustle, with non-diegetic score elements creates an immersive sonic environment that amplifies tension and emotion. Sound editing becomes a narrative device in itself, signaling shifts in mood and focus. The film's editing style further shapes the narrative flow and emotional impact. Cross-cutting between action-packed sequences and quieter, character-driven scenes creates a rhythm that sustains engagement while allowing moments of depth. The pacing adapts to narrative demands, accelerating during confrontations and decelerating for reflection. This dynamic editing ensures a balanced cinematic experience. Symbolic use of space and setting underscores thematic motifs. Confined interiors evoke feelings of entrapment and isolation, while expansive urban vistas suggest possibility and exposure. The movement between these spaces parallels character arcs, illustrating journeys from constriction to liberation, from concealment to revelation. Lighting design also plays a role in expressing psychological states. Flickering fluorescent lights in laboratory scenes evoke uncertainty and instability, while warm candlelight in personal moments conveys intimacy and hope. These subtle lighting cues enrich the narrative texture, offering viewers subconscious emotional guidance. The film's visual storytelling extends to costume and makeup, which reflect setting and character. The protagonist's armor evolves visually, incorporating new materials and design elements that signal transformation. Supporting characters, attire ranges from utilitarian to flamboyant, delineating social roles and personalities. This visual diversity enhances the film's world building. Throughout the narrative, the interaction between setting and character is symbiotic. Environments influence behavior and emotion, while characters alter and define their surroundings. This dynamic interplay invites viewers to consider setting as an active agent in storytelling, shaping meaning as much as narrative events. In conclusion, the film's settings and cinematic elements coalesce into a rich, immersive experience that elevates the story beyond its plot. Through deliberate choices in location, lighting, color, camera, work, and sound, the filmmakers create a textured world that mirrors and amplifies the themes of identity, power, and transformation. This meticulous craft invites viewers not just to watch, but to inhabit the film's universe, engaging both intellect and emotion in a memorable journey. The art of filmmaking is a complex choreography, a fusion of vision, technique, and intuition, and in this film, these elements intertwine with remarkable precision to create a world both dazzling and intimate. From the very first frame, the director and his creative team set out to craft an experience that immerses the viewer in the protagonist's fractured reality, a space where humanity and machine blur, and where every visual and sonic detail contributes to the unfolding emotional landscape. One of the foundational pillars of the film's aesthetic is its cinematography. The director of photography employed a diverse arsenal of techniques to navigate the film's shifting moods and themes. Early scenes are often captured with a warm, naturalistic palette, using soft lighting and steady, measured camera movements to evoke a sense of grounding and familiarity. These choices invite the audience into the protagonist's private world, highlighting moments of vulnerability and introspection with a gentle touch. Close-up shots linger on faces and hands, emphasizing the human element beneath the technological exterior. As the narrative intensifies, the cinematography shifts to a more kinetic style. Handheld cameras and rapid tracking shots thrust viewers into the heart of action sequences, replicating the protagonist's heightened senses and rapid decision-making. Wide-angle lenses capture the sprawling urban landscapes and the labyrinthine spaces of technological warfare, contrasting with the intimacy of tight framing during moments of conflict or revelation. This fluid visual language mirrors the story's oscillation between control and chaos, drawing viewers deeper into its emotional rhythm. Lighting design plays a pivotal role in shaping atmosphere and tone. Scenes infused with cool blues and steely grays convey a sense of detachment and technological sterility, underscoring moments of alienation and threat. Conversely, warmer hues, amber, gold, and crimson, signal intimacy, passion, or crisis. The interplay of shadow and illumination is deftly manipulated to underscore themes of duality, secrecy, and revelation. For instance, characters often emerge from or disappear into darkness, visual metaphors for their internal struggles and hidden motives. The film's sound design is an intricate tapestry, weaving mechanical hums, electronic beeps, and organic sounds into a cohesive auditory world. Foley artists meticulously recreated the noises of the suit's servos and joints, grounding its presence in tangible reality. These mechanical sounds are layered with human breaths, footsteps, and voices, bridging the gap between man and machine. Composer Stephen Edwards infused the score with rhythms inspired by the suit's mechanics, blending orchestral swells with electronic pulses. This synthesis enhances narrative tension, guiding the viewer's emotional response without overwhelming the storytelling. Editing, under the guidance of Stephen Merkovich, is crucial in balancing the film's multifaceted narrative threads. The editing pace adapts fluidly, accelerating during high-stakes action sequences with rapid cuts and cross-cutting to heighten suspense, then decelerating during character-driven scenes to allow for reflection and emotional depth. Montage sequences are employed to convey technological evolution and strategic planning, compressing time while maintaining narrative clarity. This rhythmic editing ensures that the viewer remains engaged and oriented amidst complex plot developments. Visual effects integrate seamlessly with live-action footage, a testament to the collaborative synergy between practical effects teams and digital artists. The suit's dynamic capabilities, its assembly, weapon deployment, and flight sequences are brought to life through a blend of motion capture, CGI, and animatronics. Practical props and costumes provide tangible references for actors and camera crews, grounding performances and shots in physical reality. The digital enhancements augment these elements, allowing for fluid transformations and spectacular visuals that maintain believability. The use of camera technology is innovative and diverse. Specialized rigs, including drone-mounted cameras and helmet cams, offer immersive perspectives, placing viewers within the protagonist's viewpoint. These choices enhance identification and empathy, making action sequences not just visually thrilling, but viscerally felt. Slow motion and time-lapse techniques are employed strategically to highlight moments of tension or reveal subtle details, enriching the visual narrative. Production design contributes significantly to the film's atmospheric depth. Sets and locations are crafted with meticulous attention to texture and detail, creating environments that reflect character and theme. The protagonist's workshop, with its cluttered workbenches and scattered blueprints, conveys a mind perpetually in motion. Contrastingly, antagonist lairs and government facilities are sleek, imposing, and sterile, emphasizing themes of control and surveillance. These settings function as extensions of the narrative, deepening immersion and meaning. Lighting and color grading are used not only for aesthetic appeal, but as storytelling tools. The transition from cold, muted palettes in scenes of crisis to warmer tones in moments of connection underscores emotional shifts. Color motifs recur, subtly signaling thematic elements such as danger, hope, or transformation. These visual cues engage viewers subconsciously, enriching their interpretive experience. The film's soundscape extends beyond score and effects to include diegetic sounds that anchor scenes in realism. Ambient city noises, industrial machinery, and natural sounds create a textured auditory environment. Dialogue mixing balances clarity with atmospheric presence, ensuring that conversations carry emotional weight while remaining grounded in the physical space. In the post-production phase, the integration of sound, editing, and visual effects was a delicate dance. The teams worked closely to synchronize audio cues with visual beats, enhancing narrative cohesion. This collaborative process involved iterative revisions and fine-tuning, reflecting a commitment to storytelling excellence and immersive experience. Box office production and marketing efforts leveraged the film's technical sophistication and narrative appeal. Trailers highlighted the seamless blend of action and character drama, showcasing innovative visual effects alongside intimate moments. Interactive promotional campaigns engaged audiences with behind-the-scenes content and digital experiences that extended the film's universe. These strategies contributed to a strong box office performance and enduring fan engagement. The film's reception underscored the success of its filmmaking techniques. Critics and audiences praised its visual innovation, narrative pacing, and emotional resonance. The integration of practical and digital effects received particular acclaim, as did the sound design's immersive quality. These elements elevated the film beyond typical genre fare, positioning it as a benchmark for technical and artistic achievement. In reflecting on the filmmaking techniques and box office production, it becomes evident that this film is a product of meticulous craftsmanship and visionary collaboration. Every choice from lens selection to sound mixing, from editing rhythm to promotional strategy, served the singular goal of creating an experience that captivates, challenges, and moves its audience. This fusion of art and technology stands as a testament to cinema's power to transform stories into living, breathing worlds that resonate long after the credits roll. The film's journey from script to screen would not have been possible without the vibrant constellation of actors who breathed life into its complex characters. Their performances carry the emotional weight of the narrative, weaving a tapestry of human experience that grounds the high-tech spectacle in palpable authenticity. Behind the scenes, their reflections and candid interviews offer rich insights into the creative process, revealing the thought, dedication, and sometimes vulnerability that shaped their portrayals. Meanwhile, the audience's responses, varied, passionate, and deeply personal, paint a vivid picture of the film's impact, highlighting how these performances resonated far beyond the confines of the theater. At the heart of the film stands its lead, whose portrayal of a man straddling the line between human fragility and technological power defines the movie's emotional core. The actor, renowned for his intensity and commitment, approached the role with a rigorous preparation regimen. He immersed himself in the physicality required by the suit, undergoing extensive training to master the unique movements and gestures that would convey both strength and vulnerability. In interviews, he spoke candidly about the challenges of embodying a character who is as much machine as man, describing the process as a profound exploration of identity and humanity. Beyond the physical demands, the actor delved deeply into the psychological complexity of his role. He engaged with the character's internal conflicts, his fears, arrogance, and yearning for connection, with a sincerity that resonated on screen. In several interviews, he reflected on the parallels between the character's struggle and universal human experiences of isolation and self-discovery. These insights enriched his performance, allowing him to infuse moments of quiet introspection amidst the film's high-stakes action. Supporting him is a brilliant co-star, whose portrayal of a fiercely intelligent and morally grounded scientist provides a vital counterbalance. She prepared for the role by researching real-life innovators and spending time with experts in cutting-edge technology and ethics. Her interviews reveal a deep appreciation for the character's nuanced position, both a collaborator and conscience, whose presence grounds the protagonist's journey in ethical reflection. Her on-screen chemistry with the lead actor was often praised, a dynamic born of mutual respect and creative synergy fostered during filming. The antagonist, brought to life by a seasoned actor known for his ability to convey layered villainy, offers a portrayal that transcends cliché. In interviews, he described his approach as humanizing a figure often painted in broad strokes, emphasizing the character's motivations rooted in pain and conviction. This interpretation added depth to the conflict, inviting audiences to grapple with questions of justice, revenge, and the fine line between heroism and villainy. His commitment to complexity elevated the film's thematic richness and challenged viewers to reconsider simplistic notions of good and evil. The film's ensemble cast further enriches the narrative landscape. Each supporting actor brought their own distinct energy and perspective, creating a mosaic of relationships that reflect the film's exploration of trust, loyalty, and conflict. In conversations, these actors often highlighted the collaborative atmosphere on set, describing how their interactions and improvisations added authenticity and spontaneity to the story. This spirit of cooperation contributed to the film's emotional resonance, making even minor characters feel lived in and essential. Behind the scenes, cast members shared anecdotes that reveal the human moments amidst the technological spectacle. Stories of late-night rehearsals, shared meals, and moments of levity amidst intense shooting schedules paint a picture of a dedicated, yet warm and collegial environment. The lead actor, for example, was known for encouraging younger cast members, fostering a sense of mentorship that paralleled the film's themes of legacy and growth. Audience reactions to the film have been as diverse as they are passionate. Early screenings sparked discussions on social media and forums, with viewers dissecting performances, thematic content, and technical achievements. Many praised the lead's portrayal as a highlight, noting the balance of charisma and vulnerability that made the character relatable despite his extraordinary circumstances. Viewers also appreciated the supporting cast's contributions, citing their nuanced performances as essential to the story's emotional depth. Critics' reviews often echoed these sentiments, highlighting the cast's ability to elevate a complex script into a compelling human drama. The interplay between actors was frequently cited as a strength, with particular attention paid to the dynamic between the protagonist and antagonist, whose conflicts embodied the film's moral and philosophical tensions. Reviewers noted how the actors' performances grounded the narrative spectacle, making the stakes feel personal and urgent. Fan communities have embraced the film with enthusiasm, organizing watch parties, online discussions, and fan art that celebrate the characters and their journeys. These grassroots engagements speak to the enduring appeal of the cast's portrayals and the film's themes. Many fans have shared how specific performances inspired them, whether through the depiction of resilience, ethical dilemmas, or personal transformation. Interviews with the cast also reveal their reflections on the film's cultural impact. Several actors expressed gratitude for being part of a project that combines entertainment with meaningful questions about technology, identity, and responsibility. They spoke about the privilege and challenge of inhabiting roles that demand both physicality and emotional complexity, and the importance of storytelling in shaping public discourse. The production's publicity efforts included candid cast interviews that offered behind-the-scenes insights and personal anecdotes, further deepening audience connection. These conversations illuminated the actors' creative processes, their camaraderie, and their responses to the film's reception. The openness and authenticity of these dialogues fostered a sense of community between the film's creators and its viewers. In reflecting on the cast's contributions, it is clear that their performances form the emotional and intellectual backbone of the film. Through their dedication, insight, and artistry, they transform a narrative of technology and power into a profound exploration of human experience. Their interviews and audience responses reveal the film's capacity to resonate across diverse perspectives, inspiring reflection and dialogue long after the credits roll. Ultimately, the symbiosis between cast and audience, mediated through performance, interpretation, and conversation, breathes life into the film's world. This ongoing exchange enriches the cinematic experience, reminding us that stories are living entities shaped by those who create them and those who receive them. Through this dynamic, the film achieves its deepest purpose: to entertain, to challenge, and to connect. The journey we've taken together through the intricate tapestry of this film reveals it to be far more than a mere spectacle of metal and might. Instead, it unfolds as a rich meditation on the complexities of identity, the tension between humanity and technology, and the eternal dance between power and vulnerability. Each element we explored, the layered characters, the dynamic plot, the innovative filmmaking techniques, the evocative settings, and the emotional resonance, converges to create a cinematic experience that lingers long after the screen fades to black. We began by stepping into a world where a man armored in brilliance and steel grapples with the fragility beneath his invincible facade. His struggles, mirrored in the supporting characters who orbit him, each embodying their own contradictions and aspirations, brought forth themes of trust, legacy, and ethical responsibility. These are not just hallmarks of a superhero tale, but reflections of the human condition itself, compelling us to reflect on our own masks and vulnerabilities. Our exploration of the plot unveiled a narrative that balances kinetic action with philosophical inquiry. The protagonist's journey, marked by physical trials and moral dilemmas, invites us to ponder the costs of innovation and the sacrifices demanded by heroism. Twists and climaxes served not merely as entertainment, but as catalysts for deeper questions about identity, power, and choice. These narrative turns, enriched by compelling performances, elevate the story beyond genre conventions into a space of emotional and intellectual engagement. Delving into the filmmaking techniques revealed a world of meticulous craft and creative vision. From the choreography of action sequences to the subtle interplay of lighting and color, from the immersive soundscapes to the seamless integration of visual effects, every technical choice contributed to a coherent and immersive atmosphere. This fusion of art and technology not only served the story, but also pushed cinematic boundaries, inviting viewers to inhabit a world where the line between human and machine blurs with striking clarity. The settings, both physical and symbolic, played an indispensable role in shaping the film's mood and meaning. Urban sprawl, intimate interiors, and stark industrial spaces became extensions of the narrative's emotional terrain. Cinematography and production design worked hand in hand to evoke themes of isolation, transformation, and resilience, creating a textured backdrop against which the drama unfolds. These visual and spatial elements invite the audience to engage not only with the characters, but with the world they inhabit, complex, multifaceted, and deeply resonant. Our look behind the scenes uncovered stories of collaboration, innovation, and serendipity. The cast and crew's dedication, creativity, and humor infused the production with life beyond the frame. Anecdotes of technical challenges turned into creative triumphs, of improvisation leading to narrative breakthroughs, and of camaraderie sustaining the team through demanding schedules enrich our understanding of the film as a human endeavor. These insights deepen our appreciation for the artistry and effort required to bring such a story to life. The cast's performances stand as the emotional core of the film. Their portrayals breathe nuance and authenticity into a story that could easily have been overshadowed by spectacle alone. Interviews reveal the thoughtfulness and vulnerability behind these performances, while audience responses testify to their profound impact. The interplay between actor and character, viewer and story, creates a living dialogue that extends the film's resonance beyond the screen. Throughout our exploration, a recurring theme emerges. The film as a mirror reflecting our own struggles with identity, power, and connection in an increasingly technological world. It challenges us to consider what it means to be human when the boundaries between flesh and machine blur, and what it costs to wield great power responsibly. These questions, rendered through compelling narrative and cinematic craft, invite ongoing reflection and conversation. As we conclude this deep dive, I invite you to carry forward the spirit of inquiry and empathy that this film inspires. Every movie holds within it a universe of meaning waiting to be discovered, a mosaic of storytelling, craft, and human experience. Here, at Screen Studies, we embark on these journeys together, peeling back layers to reveal the heart of cinema. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity or touched you in unexpected ways, please like this video and subscribe to Screen Studies. Your engagement is not just a number. It is a vital part of this community of thoughtful viewers committed to seeing and understanding movies beyond their surface. Share your thoughts, your insights, and your questions in the comments. Let's keep this conversation alive. Thank you for joining me on this voyage through a film that dazzles with technology and moves with humanity. Until our next adventure, keep watching deeply, thinking critically, and feeling deeply. The stories we tell and the way we tell them shape not only our screens, but our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.